We have to talk about the cheaper decks in Master Duel. This is what Konami don't want you to know. For example, if you look at this crazy endboard of Super Heavy Samurai, it might look very unbeatable at the first sight, but it has a problem. And this is Konami absolutely gonna nuke this deck in the near future. For example, if we look at cheaper decks like Dragon Link or Purely, you can see the UR points it required are really low, like 600, 630. So that's because in archetype wise, if we, for example, look at the Dragon Link core, you can see you really don't need much UR cards. And this is a really big problem for Konami because they don't really make much money with it. And it's gonna stay really good for a couple of months, but this deck will absolutely be nuked in the near future. So be careful, guys. If you see a deck with in-archetype cards like only 1, 2, 3 cards, like these decks are really on Konami's radar and it's not gonna last you very long. So why am I saying this? Because right now maybe a lot of people try to decide whether I'm gonna go for maybe a Manadium deck or a super heavy samurai deck because they like combo decks. And guys, make sure if we look, for example, now at super heavy samurai, you can see like what did the OCG that already had these cards do to them. So because in Master Duel they're new, so if we look at more advanced formats, you can see this card got absolutely nuked and limited by the OCG. And if we look at the other card format, the TCG, this got even banned. So this might be the best deck right now in Master Duel, or maybe one of the best decks, but in archetype wise, you only need 3 Wukaushi, maybe the big monk, like you need 2, and you need 3 motorbike. So this is the same as Poorly. So this deck will absolutely be smashed in the near future. And now if we look at, for example, Manadium, this is much pricier than Super Heavy Samurai, but it will also last you much longer because Konami, if you have such an expensive deck, it's gonna be really hard for Konami to ban this deck because people invested much more in this deck and also expect to last these decks much longer. And just to always make sure if you invest in a deck, it's not like so easy to just look at, oh yeah, this is cheaper and better, it's gonna last me and I'm gonna have more fun with this. In general, I would say like if a deck is more expensive, long-term wise, it's better to invest in this and you will have more fun with a more expensive deck because it's not gonna ban so easily. And also, if we look at Vanquish Soul, for example, at the beginning, it was a big problem for players because they seemed like, oh, Vanquish Soul, so expensive, like 3 Raisin, 2 to 3 Dr. Medlov, 2 Caesar, and 3 Stake Your Soul. So it was really expensive, but also like this is a healthy deck for the whole environment of Master Duel. So this is gonna last. It's not gonna be banned soon, and it's gonna stay in the format for very long because it's not so toxic like Manadium or Super Heavy Samurai, like combo, and FTK basically your opponent. This deck is heavy for the format, and that's also why it's a little bit more expensive, because it's gonna stay here for much longer. So make sure if you invest in a deck, always look at, like, if it's too cheap, it's probably gonna end up like these nuts link. So you can see like this deck absolutely got smashed. No White Dragon, no Chaos Ruler. So guys, please think twice before you invest in the deck. and also always make sure to believe in the heart of the cards.